Hello, and welcome back to a giant pile of mangled cripples as I rail on E3 for being a god-awful garbage dump in Perfidious Pete Plays XCOM, War of the Chosen. Yep, the big pile of mangled cripples I'm talking about. Not our team, although they also are that. But really what I'm talking about is E3 2018. And I'm going to basically ignore what's going on in XCOM here a little bit to rail on E3, because it ended today, the day I'm recording this, and I thought I'd talk about my impressions of 2018 so far. And I gotta say, not positive. It was largely a garbage fire, large enough that it could be seen from space. Yeah, whatever, Assassin Lady. Do you mind? You know what? Just shut your hole. God, there's no escape. I thought I'd just cut her off like Picard style with the closed comm thing, but it didn't work, huh? Okay, then. We've got a bunch of extra power here. What we need is, I need an engineer because we're out of contacts, and I want to go make contact over here. So we're just going to move this lady. The power that she's generating, we're not actually using. We'll find or redistribute another engineer. I mean, we'll have 2 bonus guys here as soon as these debris get cleared, so we're not super worried about it. And now that the assassin shut up and our little routine maintenance thing there is done, back to talking about E3. Okay, so, like, winners and losers of E3, I felt it was mostly losers with maybe only one real winner. I felt like maybe the biggest actual winner of the show was probably... Man, it's tough to say because nobody really won. Everybody was real bad. Probably the PC games panel, I would say, was maybe the best one. Not that they had a bunch of great stuff. I mean, the PC games panel did improve Maverick's Proving Grounds, which is basically 10 times bigger PUBG. Because, you know, that's something that PUBG needed, was to be 10 times bigger. A 1,000-player battle arena. Yeah, that'll be fun. Games will take 450,000 years. You know what? No, I take that back. It's actually not going to be fun at all. Like, not even a little. Refraction field, we don't really care. We don't, you know, entering concealment is not terrible. Power conduit construction, we don't give a shit about. Here, just like hump a gatekeeper, Dr. Tiger. You know what? Since this gatekeeper did a number on our team last episode, normally I'm a little dismissive when it comes to your kink, but this time, go ahead, knock yourself out, Dr. Tigan. I want you to orgasm so hard you break your own spine. Just give it to him in every one of his holes. That's what Maverick's Proving Ground plans to do, by the way, is give it to you in every one of your holes. What other panels were bad? The Bethesda panel, very not good. I felt the Bethesda panel was bad, and somebody's like, but Pete, Fallout 76, Beyond Good and Evil 2. Yeah, I mean, sure, the Bethesda announced some stuff, but let's take a look at what they actually announced, shall we? First off, Fallout 76, I was weary of potentially playing that game before having played it when I thought it was just going to be another Fallout game. Like, it was just going to be a big empty sandbox with like a tentative story to kind of drag me through it. But upon further review, it actually looks like they're not even going to bother with the story this time. Instead, they're just going to make it like a multiplayer farming survival game. That's actually worse. It's like just a giant empty sandbox, and this time they're like, eh, fuck it. We didn't even put a story in. You know what? You want some story? Find some friends and make your own damn story. Bethesda got other shit to do over here. Which, all evidence to the contrary of them having other shit to do, because the other games that Bethesda announced didn't really blow my hair back either. What else are they gonna do? Oh, you know, like Elder Scrolls on mobile, because, hey, what's the one place they haven't released Skyrim yet? Right, is a mobile title. Well, shit, we should fix that, and sure enough, they're gonna. The only other thing they really had there was, what was it, Starfield? But that game, they showed like a teaser trailer for it. If that game comes out before 2020, I'll eat my hat. Starfield is not gonna be out before 2020, and all it's gonna be is just, it's Skyrim in space. Space Skyrim. Which some people are saying, that sounds cool. There's no goddamn game in it, though. It's just a giant sandbox with even... Put some toys in it this time, maybe. We don't care about beam cannons. We don't really... here, do like a purifier
After
autopsy.
a careful examination of the specialized
So that was Bethesda. They really had garbage. What about EA? EA may have been the biggest loser of the show, apart from their regular annual release titles like FIFA and NBA Live and all the other sports trash they shovel out the door that people buy once a year, every year for reasons, I guess. The only other thing they really had going on was Anthem, and Anthem, I mean, I already bitched about that in a previous episode. It's just bigger, shittier, more expensive Warframe. It is pretty, I'll give it that, it is pretty, but the reason I would say that EA may be the biggest loser in the show. Didn't I just say Bethesda was the biggest loser? You know what, I'm taking it back because I forgot. EA did do one of the few things that actually pushed the bile to the back of my throat, in that EA apparently thinks that rather than apologizing for the cancer that is Origin, they actually think that you should pay for the privilege of using it. EA announced a, like, premium subscription service for Origin. Nick Rivers is healed here, by the way. Maybe we'll do something with that. They're announcing a monthly premium subscription program for Origin where they give you like 100 games that you definitely don't want and some early-ish access to games you're already going to buy anyway. I mean, I don't understand what they were thinking on that one. They should be apologizing for Aura and not expect... Just... The only rationale I can come up with for that decision is just EA wants all of your money, and they don't care that you know they're a bunch of disturbingly greedy pricks. They're just like, fuck you, that's why. I got... You know what? I'm moving on, because I'm actually super salty about that. What else did we have going on? You know what? Ubisoft, I felt like they didn't necessarily knock it out of the park or anything, but they had a couple titles that were potentially alright. Assassin's Creed Annual Release, which, by the way, should just be the subtitle of every Assassin's Creed game now. They should just call it Assassin's Creed Annual Release. But the new one, it's going to ancient Greece, so sure, okay. Looked like it had maybe some slightly different gameplay mechanics, which would be a nice change for Assassin's Creed to not be an exact carbon copy of every other Assassin's Creed. They also teased Beyond Good and Evil 2, but you know what? That's the one thing I'm going to be a little negative about on the Ubisoft front, is Beyond Good and Evil 2, you guys have been teasing that shit for like 9 fucking years now. I just don't believe it's ever going to see a release at this point. After most of a decade... I'm sorry. Whatever goodwill or interest I had in Beyond Good and Evil 2, it's fucking dead. It's deader than Dillinger. They did have Skull and Bones, however, which looked pretty intriguing. Basically, it looked like less shitty Sea of Thieves, and I bought and actually kind of enjoyed Sea of Thieves. I just wish it had more stuff to do in it. Looking forward to Skull and Bones a little bit. I wouldn't say it's on my hype meter, but, I mean, I'm a sucker for pirate games, so yeah, I'll probably buy it. Who else was at the conference that really did anything? The PC show, pretty well. I had a couple of the things that... There are actually really only 3 things at the whole show that really kind of blew my hair back, or even got like a single titch on the hype meter. 3 games that had at least 1 pip on the hype meter. Cyberpunk 2020, or Cyberpunk 2077, right? It's gonna be out in 2020, which is my objection to it. It looks good. I mean... CD Projekt Red already had my money just on the strength of... Chris Knight, we need you on... You know what? I'm going to revitalize Chris Knight. We need him on this mission. Revitalize Chris Knight. I need Doc Holliday. I need Chris Knight. We need people on this mission who can shoot guns really well, because the Warlock is immune to melee now. Pete, how dare you talk about XCOM? I'm sorry. I apologize. Shouldn't have talked about XCOM. I was ranting. But CD Projekt Red, they already had my money just on the strength of The Witcher 3. I'm going to buy that game regardless. I am a little... I really wish they would put a limit on how early you could tease something at E3, because I doubt Cyberpunk 2077 is going to see a release before 2020. So, there's that. Hitman 2? Yes, please. More Hitman. And the great thing about Hitman 2 is they're not really pulling the whole dick tease meta. They're like, no, we have more Hitman available for you. And it's going to be out, like, later this year. In fact, there's a playable demo right now. Here you go. Enjoy yourself some Hitman. That's the way to do it right there. That's solid, solid work. Give me Virgil Adamson. Virgil, do you have any shooting abilities? Do you have, like, quick draw or anything? You gotta take a peek here. I mean, he doesn't... He could get it, but he doesn't have it. So I kind of don't want you on the mission, Virg. Ghost Patterson, I know you've got some shooty abilities, but I can't take you. We gotta take Shahurless on the mission. He's just... You're getting... I'm sorry, Shahurless. You know what? I already used my Revitalize. You're gonna have to fight tired. That's just... That's the way it's gonna go. Simon Magus, we'll take you, and your running mate is Batman, I think. Batman can't fire a gun at all, but... I mean, somebody's got to carry the Mimic Beacon. Batman's got those wonderful toys, so let's do that. But back to talking about Hitman. Yeah, I mean... One, they're not teasing it so far out that you'll forget it exists before the sees release. that's good. And two, I mean, the most recent Hitman game was fantastic. It was stellar. They're like, hey, you know that thing that you really liked? Turns out we've got some more of that. And I'm like, yes, please, just, okay. Just hook it to my veins, that's fine, I'll take it. Yes, more of that, please. Blue screen rounds. The janitor, let's give you some dragon rounds. Do we have... We got venom rounds, dragon rounds. You know what? There's one thing we need here, more than we need a mimic beacon. Gutshot Shahurless, first off, you gotta have special ammo, because you're probably our best shooter. So Simon Magus, take those tracer rounds. Not that we are going to use tracer rounds on you. Take the AP rounds for who is our best, straight up our best shooter is Gutshot Shahurless. There's one other thing I want to take here before we go full in assault this. The last couple times we've fought the Warlock, he's been problematic with the mind control. So this time we're taking a flashbang. He keeps mind controlling our people that have Blade Storm, and then they're in very obnoxious positions, and I wind up getting my whole team Blade Stormed by their own companion. So rather than have that happen this time, I'm going to take one flashbang just for the mind control. Like if we have to... No, Iceman, get out of here. This is Chris Shahurless' spot. Trying to horn in on his action. He's trying to oust a Kilmer with a Kilmer. Give me that flashbang. There we go. Simon Templar has a flashbang. Are the rest of our shooters solid? Real Genius, I want to make sure you have Quick Straw. I mean, I'm pretty sure you have Quick Straw. You're cautious. I very much dislike that. Do you have Quick Draw? Okay, you do. All right. We're going to have to hope you can overcome that flaw. We're not the greatest team in the world, but we can't take our best team because immune to melee damage is a real problem for us. So back to E3 stuff though. Hitman 2, yeah, just you brought me a steak. I ate the steak last time and I was like, geez, I wish I had some more steak. And then IO came out and they're like, well, it turns out we have another one cooked to perfection right here and ready. Would you? And I'm like, we'll bring it out and put it on the plate, take my money, and just flinging it at him by the fistful. But the thing that makes me saddest about this year's E3 is this. The game, I think, that hit my hype meter the hardest, and on a hype meter that goes to like 0 to 10, this one maybe got to like a 1.5. I don't really go much in for hype. I'm not a hype cycle guy. But the game that got me probably the most hype was a little indie game called Satisfactory. And it's developed by Coffee Stain. And if you guys don't remember, Coffee Stain is the same development studio that did Goat Simulator. And that's my problem with E3 2018 and why I think it was overall a pretty damn weak show. When the thing I'm most excited about is from the devs that brought us Goat Simulator, I gotta feel like it was a pretty weak show. Pretty weak show. The other thing I want to talk about on E3, and I touched on it a little bit earlier, their whole proclivity for allowing developers to tease games that are nowhere near development. They should actually, they should put the kibosh on that shit. There should be a rule that if there's gonna be more than one E3 between you teasing a game and that game's released, like, you're not allowed to show it. You can't do the Kojima Death Stranding thing, which, by the way, I know they had a Death Stranding trailer and everybody was super hyped about that, and yeah, Kojima, he's super postmodern, weird for the sake of weird, blah, 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 blah. You guys, that game's not going to come out for like 2020. You're going to look at that at probably 4 E3s before you ever see anything. Like, it'll probably be even one more E3 before you even see like a potentially playable demo or footage of an actual gameplay. And that's what they got to put the kibosh on that for E3. Just don't let them do that. That's one of the few things I will actually give Bethesda props for, is they don't tease games that are 2 and 3 years out. Bethesda's like, if Bethesda teases a game, odds are strong they're gonna drop it within the next 8 to 9 months. And I just feel like that's a much better overall business strategy. What's going on here? So we got a bunch of this was blade storming and rending killing stuff, right? Okay. But I honestly feel like that's a much better strategy for the companies specifically, because here's how anticipation works, and Perfidious Pete's gonna drop a little life bomb knowledge on you here. The anticipation of a thing is almost always better than the thing itself. You almost always get more enjoyment out of anticipating something than its actualization. And that drives customers into like a negative headspace. When you're teasing a game and allowing people to hype it for like 2 years, and if you want a great example of this, let's talk about Skyrim. Or rather, let's not talk about Skyrim because it's shameful and the industry should try and conceal that shit as quickly and deeply as possible. That's not something you can just bury in a shallow grave. You want to dig the full 6-foot hole to bury that corpse. I digress, though. But it's an excellent example of exactly what I'm talking about with this hype cycle bullshit. Skyrim got hyped and hyped and hyped and hyped and hyped and hyped and hyped for 2 years, and it wouldn't have mattered even if... Did I say Skyrim? I think I said Skyrim. What I meant was No Man's Sky. I'm talking about No Man's Sky here. Sorry, I'm trying to do 2 things at once, and I'm doing both of them badly, but that's what you get when you're listening to an idiot play video games on the internet. But with No Man's Sky, even if it had come out and had every single feature that the development team had promised, and Sean Murray wasn't a pathological liar, even if all of that had come true, people still would have been disappointed with Skyrim. Skyrim? I did it again. With No Man's Sky, simply because they holy shit, talk about a pod. 4 Berserkers. This seems egregious, though. 4 Berserkers and 2 turrets? That's a lot of fucking firepower, though. Well, we're gonna have a little bit of a difficult time with this one. 4 Berserkers that's a lot of health. On the plus side, the Berserkers do just have the 1 swing, so... Well, we've got a bunch of people who can shoot, and these guys are close to us. So let's take a look at our options. Surprisingly, we can't see as many of these Berserkers as we might like. So take your quick draw shot. This is good practice, by the way. Get a little poison on that, man. And then we're going to have you go rend something. Because you still have enough movement to get a rend off. Can you rend in Arc Wave, anybody? Yeah, there we go. Double Arc Wave, too. Give it to him. Give him the good stuff, man. My boy. Pretty solid overall damage right there. Momentum swing, we got a point of focus as well. Pete, you were talking about the hype cycle. I mean, yeah, I was, but I kind of feel like I've run out of steam. I've said my piece on the hype cycle thing. Don't hype games that are so far away. It's just, it's bad economically. All you're going to do is excite your customers, and ultimately, you're exciting them, and then you're going to disappoint them. That's what's going to happen, and that's not... It's not good for anybody. Shaherless, I think we're going to have you go ahead and drop a Lightning Hands here. We should have this cooldown. I want to make sure we've got all of our Lightning Hands cooldowns available and ready for when we go in to fight the big bad, the Warlock at the end. But for now, I think we're probably okay. And we're going to have you come in here and rend the turret, actually. There are 2 turrets, so we're going to have to kill one of these turrets, because I only really want one of them potentially shooting at our boy Shaherless, who is going to be full parry. Simon Templar, you cannot get... Can you get to the... Can you rend that turret from here? You can. So you can take a shot with your quick draw and still get a rend on the turret. We need to kill one of these Berserkers. Let's say this man will probably die if we hit. Sweet. Excellent shot. And now we can rend the turret as well. Get over here and rend this turret. That kills the turret, and then we have 2 parry targets in front of the other guy, so we should be fine. Don't have to worry about getting shot by his little buddy over there. Now we just got to figure out a way to clean up all of these Berserkers. That's an extra point of focus for our boy Simon Magus as well. Get in parry mode. Doc Holliday, let's have you shoot this Berserker. We're not going to be able to kill all these guys because there's simply too damn many of them. Come over here and then get a little Arc Wave rend off of this. There we go. Beautifully done. We might be able to get this down to just 1 Berserker at the end of the turn. We're going to have like 1 turret and 1 Berserker is all that's going to be left to shoot at us. Batman, we're not going to have you even fire your gun because why would we waste the time? Also, we want Batman to get a kill here so that he can pick up his final point of focus and have a fully charged Ionic Storm ready to go. And that kill did it for the Bat. That's a full-bore Ionic Storm right there. Give him the Bat 2C. And then I think we kill this guy over this guy simply because we don't want him to come over and punch somebody who might be exposed to a turret and then have him punch him and then have the turret shoot somebody who's not parrying anymore. Gallagher's going to be full focus from the kill, so we'll still leave this one on the ground. Maybe somebody can snatch that. Get your parry on. That's perfect. Go ahead and take a swing at Doc Holliday, who has Blade Storm. You're not even going to punch his parry. You're just dead. Poor bastard. And then the turret didn't shoot? There's a turret over here, right? Pretty sure there's a turret over here. Yeah, there is, in fact, a turret. I guess it couldn't see us. Or wasn't activated? The turret wasn't activated. That's bizarre. Fortunately, it can just get rent to chunks now. This is a Knit 1 Pearl 2 situation. We're good to go. We would like Shaherlis. He's got Ionic Storm. We really need him catching up on the focus. You do not have Ionic Storm. Does anybody else have Ionic Storm? Because if they do, we want to put focus on them. Chris Knight, you're not quite there yet. You don't have full focus, though, so I guess we'll have you come kill. Shaherlis is our boy. We wanted him to get the full focus, but he's also our best shooter. And he is rocking some AP rounds. We're probably going to have him shooting in that final fight anyway. That's full focus for Chris Knight. The more focus, the merrier. Let's not get too far out in front here. Let's just bring everybody else up in the neighborhood, get the band back together. Batman already has full focus. Everybody else is already has full... Okay. The rest of the team's all juiced up. The little purple ball's just going to have to sit there and be lonely. Really? Lonely balls, Pete? Remind you of anything? Yeah, I'm going to die alone. You don't need to remind me. I pretty much never forget, really. But could they do anything about E3 this year? Is this a door? I don't think that's a door. We gotta come all the way over here. Man, this map is really oddly laid out. I'm pretty sure the rest of the base is over in this direction, so we have gone entirely the wrong way. Well, I mean, a good decision would have been to do this first. This is basically the only decision that's left, so I won't say it's a good decision so much as the remaining decision.
To think, I once considered myself a part of your race. You seem so small, so now...
When did you consider yourself human? Because I don't want to fire shots here, buddy, but you're one of the oddest looking humans I've ever seen. You got like a Thanos ash chin thing working there. It's not really a fantastic look. There's the end room. I don't want to just go storming in here without the full team, so let's deliberately arrange ourselves so that we don't spawn a pod. We'll put everybody on Overwatch as best we can. No pod spawns here. It's too late in the turn. Where's my boy? Doc Holliday, get up here. Everybody else just Overwatch. There are guys behind us somehow. Sure, because over there is where they should be, not between us and the objective. Are they in this room? You know what? Screw it then. If they're not in this final room, I'm not fighting them. I don't care. I just want to go kill the Warlock. I came for the Warlock. Didn't come for whatever bullshit is in that other room over there. Just leave it.
This appears to be an alien transport device.
No, this appears to be a Muton Berserker and a shield bearer there. Gallagher's got plenty of shots, and this guy thankfully came and stood right next to us like an idiot. So let's just soften him up with a quick straw shot from... Wait, he already used a move, though, didn't he? Yeah, never mind. I was thinking we could soften him up with a quick draw shot from our pistol. Not gonna be the case, though. Gallagher gives him full beans because he does have maximum focus. Real Genius, who still needs a kill? Shaherlis, you need a kill, so we want you to hit an enemy that is weakened. Simon Megas, you come around over here. Actually, you have Blade Storm. We'd rather have you on... You know what? Here, come in. You're on the Berserker, actually. And then we'll have Batman come soften this guy up so Shaherlis can pull the kill. Simon Magus with a big stun right there. So the Warlock is immune to melee damage, but can we still stun him with one of those strikes, I wonder? Is he immune to the stun? I wonder if it has to do damage to get the stun. That's interesting. Possibly something that would be worth investigating. Not you, Real Genius. We want Shahurla's taking this kill.
Suffer my rage.
Suffer my rage? Also suffer the little children? Also be an insuffer. Oh, hell yeah! Chris Shahurla's picking himself up full focus there. Or did Batman take that? Batman, you thieving scumbag. You're not a I guess billionaire isn't rich enough for Batman. He has to take from the downtrodden as well. No, this is Batman's. Everything belongs to Batman. I guess we know where the Wayne family fortune came from. They just stole it. Hypocrite much, Batman? For somebody who hates crime as much as he does, where do you think your family got their wealth? Your dad wasn't a doctor. Well, I mean, he might have been a doctor, but if he was committing egregious levels of insurance fraud. That's where the Wayne family fortune came from. Thomas Wayne was writing a lot of orders for MRIs that never got performed, collecting that insurance money. Thomas Wayne. Insurance criminal. Everybody's on the platform. We're done. I've complained about E3 probably long enough. Well, did I really complain about E3 long enough?
Well done,
You know, likely, yeah. I mean, I know I didn't touch on a lot of the other games, and there was, there was like 100 games that were announced, but apart from the stuff that I mentioned, none of it really sticks in my mind. I mean, there was a lot of really bland, unremarkable titles that really got announced. Like I said, it was a garbage fire that large enough probably to see from space. I don't know what else to say about it. Well, the one thing I can say is I'm kind of glad it's over, actually. Wait, did we lose all of our focus? Okay, I was going to be super salty if we had foregone all of our focus. Everybody's back in. We're going to beat the Warlock down with a whole bunch of bullets, because when it comes to actually beating him down, he's beat-proof, but we can just get real close to him and shoot him a lot, because I believe he is still brittle, which means he takes more damage from close-range attacks, so we can just get in right up in his grill and start shooting him in the mouth and get a lot of mileage out of it that way. We're not going to be able to parry, which is a little unfortunate, but given that it's the Warlock, parrying is less important because he tends to do things like mind control and scorch and stuff that can't be parried at any rate. But that'll have to happen next episode, because this one is over. If you enjoyed it, feel free to drop a like down in the comment section. Of course, support really does mean a lot. If you'd like to see more XCOM and more of me ranting about E3, because, I mean, shit, some of the games that were announced at E3 aren't going to be out for like 4.5 years, so I'll have plenty of time to bitch about them. And if you want to see that, you might consider subscribing as well. New episodes of XCOM every single day. Right now, however, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you again soon. Give me that Hitman 2, though. Hitman 2? Yeah. And the Goat Simulator thing, I'm still kind of flabbergasted. But you know what? I already signed up for the beta. Satisfactory, looked good.